Mr. Frizli. With 22 European states now aligned on Gaza, from Britain to Sweden, does this mark the end of Europe's blind spot when it comes to Israel, or is this still a fragile consensus, sir?
I think it's a very fragile consensus. The optics...
Sir, why do you think it's a fragile consensus?
Yeah, the optics looks very bad for Israel. So on the face of it, the news flow has been very negative for Israel, but it remains fragile. And I'll tell you why, in my personal opinion. It is because that emerging European consensus, I would say half EU member states, including some staunch allies of Israel. And when I say staunch allies of Israel, I mean right-wing allies of Netanyahu's Likud party, because, you know, the Dutch government is very close to Netanyahu's Likud party. Kaja Kallas herself, the EU foreign minister, she is a right-winger, and she loves the Likud, and she supports Netanyahu. But what's striking regarding Gaza, in the past 24 hours, even the some of the staunchly pro-Israel European leaders, including the Dutch government and Kaja Kallas, they are saying specifically about the Gaza Strip, and more specifically regarding the humanitarian situation inside that very small territory called the Gaza Strip, they are saying no.
Sorry to interrupt you, but even if Kaja Kallas likes the Likud party, she still came out with a statement yesterday condemning what Israel is doing towards the people in Gaza.
Of course, that's why it's a turning point. It's a limited turning point so far, but it is a turning point because some of Israel's most right-wing, staunchest allies are turning against Israel, but very specifically regarding the humanitarian situation in Gaza. It doesn't mean that they support the Palestinian cause more broadly, but regarding Gaza, clearly in the past 36, 24 hours, we're seeing a turning point. So if you look at at the EU, right, the EU specifically, I think 17 out of 27 European member states, so a big half of European member states, they back the idea of reviewing the existing trade agreement with Israel. So that's a lot because, Europe represents a third of Israel's, trade.
How do you interpret, sir, that's a lot? Do you see it in favor of Israel, or do you see it in favor of Gaza, which should have happened a long time ago when people and genocides and atrocities are taking place toward the people in Gaza, especially, sir, the women and the children, and the tools which were used nowadays are unbelievable, sir, and unacceptable under any community.
Of course, and it's happening very late, very, very late, and tens of thousands of civilians have died. And actually, by a cruel irony, it's happening very late, and you could say it's the reverse Trump effect.
Okay, sir, but happening late is better than never.
Yes, indeed. Yes, indeed. One of the reasons why the UK government and the European Commission are doing it is not out of kindness, of sympathy for the Palestinian cause. They are doing it to differentiate themselves from the White House. So the Trump White House is perceived as giving a green light to Benjamin Netanyahu's government. And so in London, Brussels, Paris, they think that by, behaving as if they were supporting Palestinian civilians.
Mr. Frizli, how do you read the statement by the United Kingdom yesterday, of course, referring to what's happening in Gaza by Benjamin Netanyahu or by the Israelis as cruel and indefensible, sir, and of course weaponizing of food, which is a tool that Israel is using towards, of course, the people of Gaza, which is unacceptable under international law, sir, and of course under the whole global community, and we're not supposed to be staying, watching what's happening. And what do you mean by differentiate from Washington at this point?
Well, it's what happened in London yesterday. So David Lammy, who's the UK Foreign Secretary, he made that very forceful statement. It's happening 24 hours after that meeting in London. that meeting between Keir Starmer, the British Prime Minister, and Ursula von der Leyen, the President of the EU Commission. So you can see that it's choreographed. That there's a lot of convergence. That's why I'm using the word choreography between London, the UK, and the European Union. And so they are kind of coming together. And why are they coming together? Because in a way, Europe and the UK, they feel betrayed by America regarding the war in Ukraine.